Hi, my friends. It's a gorgeous day today, so make sure to get outside and walk around, get some exercise. So for today, I'll make it a quick one. I wanted to go over our articulation books. You should have received an email, or will very shortly, with articulation books for each of your students who are working on articulation skills. And in that email, it gives you details about what level they're at. Real briefly, I'll go over the levels. So you should be receiving something that looks similar to this. So when we're working on articulation skills, we want to make sure that first they can produce it in isolation. So can they just produce k, k? If they can, we'll move on to syllables. So being able to produce K, ki, kai, ko. If they can do that, they'll move to words. So at the word level, they might say it in the beginning position: car, can, keep. Or in the medial position, make king, walking, something like that. Or in the final position, bake, make, like, things like that. Once they've mastered that, we then move to phrases. So I might have some of you working on short repetitive phrases. I see a car. I see a can. I might have some of you working on repetitive phrases where they add a little bit extra so that the K word is in the middle. So for instance, I see a car at my house. I see a cat in the yard. So that K sound is again, the beginning of the word, but it's in the middle of my sentence instead of at the end of the sentence. That's a little trickier for some of my friends. Or some of them have mastered that and they've moved on to the sentence level. So for the sentence level, they would have novel sentences each time. I can go to the store. The mom gave a kiss to the baby. Things like that. And again, it could be in the initial, medial, or final position. The examples I just gave were all initial. From there, they might go on to answering some questions using those K words, or reading some stories where they have their K words, and then again answering some questions about it. And then the last one on there would be the conversational level. So you should have an email, and that attachment I will upload to our little Facebook post and dojo group as well, okay? So again, you should have all the detail about what level your child is at in your individual emails. Today I just want to go over real quick how to make those books. So this one's medial B, so B in the middle position. This particular one is level 2. So this one is where I have more of those sentences, okay? So it changes each time. They're not the same, okay? So when I am making the book, you want to cut all of them in half except for the last page. You also have a little handout about, their accuracies and how well they're doing. You don't have to take the data if you don't want to. If you do want to and then want to give it to me either via email or when I see your child next at school put in their folder, that's fine. If not, no worries. But again, that last page, don't cut that one, okay? So everything but the last page, you're going to cut it in half, okay? And you'll end up cutting along the black line for all of those, okay? So you should end up with something that looks similar to this. So again, my last page, I didn't cut in the middle. I just cut on that black line along the outside. And then I should end up with a bunch of different pages. This one is the level 1 book, where it has those repetitive phrases that I talked about. I see a robot. I see a jelly bean. So again, same repetitive sentence. If I have in the email that I want you to add a little bit extra to the end, you might want to have them use the same part of the sentence at school. I see a robot at school. I see a jelly bean at school. And have them do that same repetitive phrase for maybe the first day or two, and then you can change it up so that it's a little more fun. But again, some of my friends have a little trouble with recall and they're unable to move on to that sentence part of it yet. So again, for the book, cut everything except for that last page, and then you can either staple it or use a hole puncher and then put a little binder ring through it. You don't even have to cut them if you don't want to. If you want to just look at it on your phones, tablets, laptops, whatever, and then just go scroll through the pictures, you're more than welcome to do that. If you don't want to print out the whole thing and maybe just want to print out the picture card, so this would be my last piece, I could end up cutting these out. And then as you go through, you could put Velcro strips and have them move it from the bottom up to each of the boxes. I don't have any Velcro strips at home, so I could use tape if I want to. You could just have them cut out these pieces and simply place it on there, and when they flip the page and say their sentence correctly, they get to move it on. If you want to, you could just cut these out and practice using your phrases, sentences, words, whatever level I tell you in the email. You can just cut these pictures out and have the child repeat their sentences after you, or make up their own sentences or phrases. You could, if you wanted to, have them cut them out and then place them around the house, and as you wander around, anytime they come across that word, they have to use their nice B sound in the middle, for instance, with this particular one. So again, you don't have to print and cut things. You can just use it on your laptop. You can print just one page, whatever is easier for you, so that way you can work on the skills. You could even just from the pictures I send you make a word list, and that's the end of it. So it doesn't have to be super fancy. I just wanted to provide you with some resources and activities for you to do. Again, this could be an opportunity to have them do their cutting, coloring if you print out a black and white one, pasting, give them a little extra activity for them to do while you are getting your work done, okay? So again, the handout on the articulation levels, I'll upload that to the Facebook group and Class Dojo hopefully, and then each of you in your email should have received a packet that looks like this with your own particular sounds that you can then go through and cut out and do with as you wish, okay? And as usual, if you have questions, let me know. I will see you guys next week, okay? Bye.